Here's your news for September 13th, 2020. And your headlines for today include: AJ Styles officially challenges Triple H. Is the WWE booking AJ and Triple H next? Sasha Banks is returning to Smackdown next week to address Bayley. Mandy Rose is traded to Raw. Mandy Rose strongly reacts. Is WWE bringing back a released wrestler from 2017? Dudley's sons made cameos during WWE Smackdown this week. Who is the next opponent for Keith Lee after Drew McIntyre is revealed? Miro takes a big dig on NXT. Randy Orton breaks silence days after teasing major announcement. Tessa Blanchard drops the title yet again. Major allegations on Conor McGregor. AJ Styles completely disregards CM Punk, and more. We're kicking off with AJ Styles news today as he's officially laid out the challenge to Triple H. After previously speaking about wanting to face Triple H in the Game's retirement match, Styles once again turned to his Twitch stream this week, saying, "The challenge is out there, Triple H. If you want some of the phenomenal one, let me know and we'll take care of business. If you want me to come down to NXT and do it in front of your NXT family, then that's the way it has to be. Just let me know." This isn't the first time that Styles has teased a move to NXT, as he recently said he'd move to work with the new NXT champion Finn Balor, and we'll have to see whether Styles and the Game meet in the ring as opponents. One person who's staying on SmackDown is Sasha Banks, who fans haven't seen since last week's attack by Bayley. Fox is now airing commercials for next week's SmackDown and are promoting Banks for the show, and it's also said that fans will hear what the boss has to say about Bayley. The SmackDown Women's Champion spoke her mind on this week's show, and now Banks will get a chance to respond. It's strange that Fox have announced that Banks will be back, but WWE hasn't, not even for promotional materials. And whilst Bayley will defend her title at Clash of Champions against Nikki Cross, this new feud with her friend could make for a very interesting dynamic. Now, we all know that nothing lasts forever in WWE, and it seems that Mandy Rose's time on SmackDown is at an end. During Talking Smack, The Miz revealed that the Golden Goddess has been traded to Raw, and a statement by WWE made it official. The statement also noted that this is part of Miz and Morrison's attempts to get Otis's Money in the Bank contract, and that Rose's move is a trade, meaning someone will be taking Rose's place on the Blue brand, though we have no idea who that is. Many fans took this change with a grain of salt, considering her relationship with Otis, and the fact that The Miz delivered the news to get under Otis's skin didn't sit right with her, as she said that now she knows that Miz, who she called a dirty bastard, is to blame for her not being on SmackDown following her SummerSlam victory. She added, "If I'm going to Raw, that's great. I'll do bigger and better things on Mondays than I've done on Fridays. Oh, and if you think you're gonna split Otis and I up, think again, Miz. There are 7 days in a week, and me and Mr. Money in the Bank are tight as ever." Though it's probably just an angle, we'll have to see if this results in a permanent move for Rose. But for now, Otis won't have his peach around thanks to The Miz, which could backfire for the A-lister. But Rose's trade leaves a lot of unanswered questions. How do you feel about the trade, and who should come to SmackDown in her place? Leave your views in the comments below. Now, fans haven't heard much from Summer Rae since her release in 2017, and though she tried to return from an injury, that obviously didn't happen. Now though, Summer has teased a return to the ring, as she tweeted yesterday that she misses in-ring action, using one of The Rock's catchphrases and implying that she could be returning to SmackDown. Some fans speculated that this could be her teasing that she's the SmackDown Mystery Woman, though as we've previously reported, those vignettes are for Carmella, according to backstage reports. Of course, Vince McMahon could always swerve fans, but we do know that it was Carmella on this week's vignette, unless Summer has the same arm tattoo as the Mystery Woman and the Staten Island Princess. Even if Summer isn't the Mystery Woman, a return to WWE could get a lot of fans excited, especially if it's pulled off the right way. SmackDown also saw Adam Pearce and security get rid of Sami Zayn, and some fans may have noticed something familiar about the security. The two were played by the tag team TNT, aka Terrence and Terrell Hughes, wrestling twins on the Indies who are also the sons of Dudley. It's unknown why WWE haven't scooped them up yet, though appearing on SmackDown is a step in the right direction. and this comes after Devon opened his own wrestling academy, where he's also training his other son, Matthew. Outside the ring, Devon continues to work as a producer and was no doubt incredibly proud to see his boys on TV. And with stars like Cesaro and Sheamus playing security at one point, you never know how a small role can translate into something much bigger. We've got Keith Lee news now, and after defeating Randy Orton at Payback, the Limitless One has been booked strong on Raw and could be in store for some big things. According to Tom Colohue, a feud against Seth Rollins was in the original plans for the Limitless One, as well as Championship Gold. As he reported, the original plan was to have Seth Rollins feud with Keith Lee for a month, and Lee would later move into the United States Championship picture. Colohue also noted that the plan may be unlikely now that Rey Mysterio has been injured. According to Tom, Seth will be Lee's next opponent after his upcoming match with Drew McIntyre. Keith Lee and Seth Rollins will have a long feud until the Royal Rumble in 2021. In such a short amount of time, Lee has become one of Raw's most prominent stars, and with reports of Vince McMahon seeing big things in him and a rumored heel turn, we'll just have to wait and see where the Limitless One's career goes from here. AEW news now, and Miro showed up on Dynamite wearing a huge smile and a ridiculously expensive outfit, and now that he's in AEW, he's got the chance to be elite. During a Q&A online, Miro commented on Tony Khan's great energy and that he's always around and never hiding, adding that Khan is great at accepting new ideas. Miro added that he's excited for the opportunity AEW is giving him, as AEW wrestlers not only promote themselves, but also ensure the company's success by working towards bigger goals. He added, "We already were doing great. We were destroying NXT and everything like that, but we're going for the big prize now. I know we're going to get there. I'm just glad that I can be along and join the joyride." Now Miro will be paired up with Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford as Sabian's best man, and though we'll have to see what's in store for Miro's future, he's certainly happier than he was a few months ago. Over to Randy Orton now, and after the Viper teased something big with a video of a snake, we now know what his announcement is. Online, Orton revealed his brand new clothing line, Slither, which will allow fans to dress like the Viper himself. And whilst there's no items currently available on the Slither shop, there's a field where fans can put in an email to get information first. This is a big deal for Orton, who's already done so much in wrestling, and it's ironic timing considering WWE's new mandate against third-party business. But it seems this new clothing line doesn't fall under that category. Now fans will get to choose whether to wear Orton's merch from WWE Shop or from Slither, and given that the former world champion is on Raw every week, he'll have plenty of time to show off his brand new clothing line. We have some news on Tessa Blanchard next. She hasn't publicly wrestled since she decided to stay in Mexico due to the pandemic. She returned to the Warrior Wrestling event tonight and defended the promotion's women's title against Kylie Rae. Blanchard dropped the title to Kylie Rae in the end. After the match, Blanchard and Kylie hugged before Rae celebrated. It's unclear what Tessa Blanchard's future holds. When she was released from Impact Wrestling, WWE reportedly sent out feelers to gauge interest. That's the last we've heard about that particular story for now. There could be more to come. AEW might also have interest in Tessa Blanchard. She did appear at All In, but she signed with Impact Wrestling prior to AEW becoming a reality. Now her options seem to be open once again. Kylie Rae has performed quite consistently in recent months as she wrestles for Impact Wrestling. She was with AEW when the company opened their doors, but she requested her release, which was granted. We are entering the Octagon now, as former UFC champion Conor McGregor is in hot water again, as TMZ have reported that he was taken into custody by French police to face questioning following claims of sexual assault. While details are light, the incident reportedly took place on Friday in the island of Corsica, a region of France in the Mediterranean Sea, and included, quote, acts that could be described as attempted sexual assault and sexual exhibition, according to prosecutors. Another report said the incident took place at a bar, and McGregor and his team were quick to deny any claims, adding that he was interviewed, released, and no charges were filed. The Notorious One's agent Audie Attar released a statement to MMA Fighting, saying, "I'm irate and putting out a warning loud and clear. Conor McGregor is not and will not be a target for those seeking to score a headline or a payday." McGregor hasn't fought in UFC since his victory over Daniel "Cowboy" Cerrone in January, and after his third retirement in June, his future in the octagon remains uncertain. And we're ending today with news about CM Punk, who fired a shot earlier this year at AJ Styles' silence during the Black Lives Matter movement. And now, the Phenomenal One has made it clear that he's not a fan of the best in the world. During a recent Twitch stream, Styles was asked about the possibility of facing Punk and flat out refused the match, saying, "Nope, that'll never happen. I don't have to go into detail about that one. I think it's pretty obvious where things stand. I'm not a fan." While Styles won't face Punk, he seems to be gunning for a match against Triple H, as he recently spoke about being the game's last opponent in the ring. In the past, the two have teamed together but have never locked horns. And while time will tell whether the Styles-Triple H match happens, it's certainly more likely than AJ facing Punk.